Welcome, everyone, to yet another episode of Greek Geek Weekly, a video channel dedicated to showing you all the excitement of looking things up and doing research. We have made it to 1 Peter 1:7, and unlike the previous videos, I think we should just jump right in. I did post on Twitter a very brief update on what I hope to do with this page as we get more and more subscribers, but no introduction, no description of why we're doing what we're doing. If you want that kind of thing, check out the previous videos. We are going to jump right in to 1 Peter 1:7. So we've got a, I think, really interesting passage for us, one that brings out kind of some of the reasons why we actually learned Greek. Now, I say that having not prepped. I didn't cheat. I didn't prep the passage. It just so happens that we use this passage a lot in classes that I teach. I do have a little bit of familiarity with it. And I'm excited that we finally get to do it. Peter is continuing our discussion here. He has not left the previous sentence. So we've got another subordinating conjunction, hina, subordinating to what? Subordinate to this previous idea that we met in verse 6, that we are enduring various trials if necessary for a particular time. We continue to do that in order that you endure these trials have come upon you, in order that hina dakimion humon tes pistios palutumateron, and I'm going to pause there because I'm seeing these two similar endings. Ta dekimion, the testing, this would be actually an interesting word to look up. My gut instinct is testing there, but we can look it up. And this might be particularly valuable to us because we might find some senses that are perhaps not immediately obvious. So dakimion, first we have the process or means of determining the genuineness of something, testing the means of testing. So that's like taking the test or putting the chemicals in the water to see what pH they are. The actual test itself, the process itself, or the genuineness as a result of the test, genuine without alloy. So this would be proven, right? This would be that we've proven that we're in range, or that we're authentic, or we passed the test. So so the test itself, or the genuineness of testing, I don't think we quite know at this stage which one would be a better option for us. So let's just hold that. Let's write that up. So we want the test itself on the one hand, and then proof or proven on the other, the certification on the other. So I've got those two options, and I'm going to have to pick at some point between those. This suffering happens in order that the testing, humon tes pisteos, of your faith, palutomateron, which is more precious, which is more valuable. Palu is our more than word, greatly valuable, more valuable cruciu to apolumenu diapuros de dakamazdomenu. More precious, it is more valuable, and you'll remember this. This is one of those things that you forget after you leave first semester Greek. The genitive with comparative adjectives like this, the genitive is the object being compared. So more powerful than gold. But let's pause there because one of the things I want to ask at this stage is, what is more valuable? What are the elements being compared? And if you're reading this in an English translation, this is a really interesting question, because I think, and I've done this in class, what is being compared if you're looking at the English? And what's being compared is usually the faith and the gold. Faith is more valuable than gold. But notice that in this case, it can't be faith, because faith is feminine. Pisteos is feminine. So it has to be this testing. The testing is more valuable than gold. Gold to apolumenu. Apolumenu, I don't know. It's from apolumi, to cause, to experience destruction, ruin, or destroy. perish, be ruined. Second option here, to fail to obtain what one expects or anticipates, lose out, lose, that does not make much sense. To lose something that has already been separated from a normal connection, lost or be lost. So it's probably, especially since we're in this realm of testing, probably this first one, to destroy. So I'm a little confused at this point. This seems like a strange turn of events, but I'm going to go with it. This testing is more valuable than gold, which itself is destroyed, apalumenu, by fire, de dikamazda menu. The de here, I'm not quite sure about, but the dikamazda menu is also modifying cruciu. So this gold is, it's gold that is destroyed, and it's gold that is destroyed having been, I'll use my kind of generic adverbial participle phrase there. It's gold that is destroyed having been dikamazdoed, having been tested, having been itself authenticated or put to the test. And you'll notice the parallel here with dokimion, which came earlier. So that helps me with the de. This de is probably kind of a concessive verbal idea. In order that the testing of your faith, which is itself more precious, this testing is more precious than gold, which is itself destroyed by fire when tested. It is also destroyed by fire when tested. Brethe, let's look this one up as well. Might as well. From Eurisco. So it's passive third person singular here, to come upon something either through purposeful search or accidentally to find. And yeah, get some information about it being accidental there. It takes the accusative. And second idea, to discover intellectually through reflection. Discover, find, probably not that one. So may may it be found. So translating that as a third person aorist passive, may it be found, may what be found? Well, it could be ta dakimion. We could be talking about the testing. May your testing be found for apainon, praise or acknowledgement, and glory, doxon kai temein, honor, in apocalypse Jesu Christu. Okay, this here I notice is the same. It connects up to that previous apocalyptheni. So I'm thinking this is another reference to this future judgment, this future glorious revelation, the second coming of Christ, and Jesus coming to judge, or to find, in this case, our faith to be worthy of praise, glory, and honor. This ace, though, is still bothering me, and I'm thinking maybe that it's somehow special with Eurisco. Is there some aspect of Eurisco that takes an ace clause? Well, where do you look that up? Usually you would look that up. I would first look that up under the verb. If I'm thinking that maybe this verb takes a particular type of prepositional clause, I'm going to look it up under the verb here. And actually, I've come to reassess what we're doing here. So instead of just to find as like finding something out in the field, I do think we're in actually the semantic domain of to discover intellectually through reflection, observation, examination, or investigation. And I think that's our sense here, to discover it to be. And in that sense, it will take it can take a prepositional phrase. And we have our verse listed actually here in this section of 1 Peter 1:7, right there in our text. So may the testing of your faith be found to be praiseworthy, glorious, honorable on that day when Jesus Christ is revealed. That's quite a bit of work for one episode, actually. And we've got some actually really interesting conclusions as we zoom out and now think about our translation as a whole. One of the things that we want to make sure that we bring out in that translation, if we can, is this connection, this what's being compared here, the valuableness of, and I think when we combine all of these ideas, that it's discovered to be praiseworthy and glorious and honorable, when it's found to be that through investigation, that the thing that is much more glorious, the thing that is more valuable, is the proof of our faith. So these things happen to us so that the authenticity of our faith, the authenticity of your faith, this authentication, which is itself more valuable than gold, which is destroyed by fire when it is authenticated, when it is tested, may it be proven glorious, may it be proven praiseworthy and glorious and honorable on the day of Jesus Christ's revealing, on the day when Jesus Christ is revealed. With that, then, I think we'll close up our discussion of 1 Peter 1:7. Continuing on, moving at a snail's pace, but that's the whole point. It takes a long time to research these things and come to, I think, solid conclusions about the kinds of questions that we have. So with that, by way of discussion, I will see you next week.